Let's check out that map. So I want to make sure we get that. And that's really all there is. Oh, it goes all the way up there. No, I guess that's the best we can do. It's not really going to give us much. Wow, we're almost to 70% map completion. What all's left? Just that right down there, basically. Alright, let's do it. Another interesting topic I could bring up is, you know what, I kind of want that little spot right there. I think we'll go for it. Yeah, those rabbits, they get to me. Another interesting topic I'd like to bring up is, it seems to me like the tighter and tighter we get on our laws, the more and more of an outrage we get. Certain laws have been put into place to prevent things, but as we tighten up those laws, it just seems to create more problems than the intention of the law being put into place was for. I find that kind of interesting. Oh man, don't tip, don't tip. Whew. What kind of loader we got? Looks like some form of tractor. It looks like a front loader, actually. Let's see. Yep, we got a digger. Only 20,000. Probably a good thing. Yeah, it didn't take like I was supposed to. I realized that a little too late. make it out of this? Oh man, that was close. I was watching the trailer. You know, previously I kind of questioned why they had that straw. Let's see if I can get a shot of it. Why they have that straw mounted up like that? Mounded? Wow. Why they have that straw set up like that? The only thing I can guess on that, maybe they're allowing it to dry out so they can bale it. I don't know. I would think they'd leave it on the field until it's ready. I guess one thing we can talk about is video games and television really have gotten pretty bad in my opinion as far as the language and the violence. It's pretty hard nowadays to find a video game that doesn't have strong language or even adult content. In some games, and I'm pretty disturbed by one of the recent games. I say recent, it's been a couple of years. The amount of language and adult content that is in it, and yet, and I might be mistaken, I know there's an age limit on it, but I think it's 13, and that kind of disturbs me a little bit as well. Funny thing is, when they go to advertise that particular game, they don't show any of that content, obviously for legal reasons. But if they can't show that content because of legal reasons, why are they able to even sell it to somebody that's, you know, 13? It blows my mind. I mean, a lot of parents, if they were to see the preview that they were showing for the game, I think a lot of parents would probably be, okay, it showed a little bit of something, but it wasn't that bad, and they'd probably go ahead and buy that game for their child. And their child's sitting down playing it, and one day the adult walks into the room to check out what they're doing, and to their surprise, that's nothing near what they saw that was being advertised for the game. So they're pretty clever, and I'm a little disturbed by it. Even more so disturbing is companies that sell those games and don't actually ID people to find out how old they are. I guess how are you going to prove that a person's actually 13 years old? I guess maybe a school ID or something like that, but most companies won't be concerned with it. I think another thing I would bring up would be people actually saying that video games or television, oh my goodness, oh boy, had such a major influence on their life that actually gave them an excuse as to why they committed a particular crime or do whatever they did. That one's a real touchy subject. If the person was actually young enough, so I'm going to exclude anybody 16 and up. I think at that point you should definitely be know or right from wrong. That is a pretty good age, though, to have an influence, but yet it's not going to be as big of an influence as somebody that's, 10 or 11 picking up a video game. Where was I going with that? Yeah, to me it's a touchy subject. It depends on the type of game. If it appears to be more realistic, and extremely violent, then yeah, I could see that being a little bit of an influence, but not a great deal. And the reason why is because as far back as I can remember, I've always loved horror movies and gore and action, but at the same time, my grandparents always took me to funerals and situations where I can see the outcome of what that would actually do. It puts it in your face. It puts it in your face of what actually takes place. What can actually happen if you were to do something like that, and it puts it in more of a realistic scenario than a video game could. Maybe having participated in so many funerals and seeing so many bad things happen had a greater influence over the video games. I don't know. Is it just is it an influence thing? Is it a I don't want to say IQ, but perception. One person could perceive it and know that it's a video game, whereas another person might actually perceive it to be somewhat lifelike. So it's a touchy situation. But then again, I've always had a real weak stomach. I couldn't even imagine me being put in a situation where I would do something like that, or B, actually going through with it, because like I said, I do have a weak stomach. If something happens to me, I'm okay with it. I can stand the sight of my own blood and all that, but yeah, it comes to other people, man, I couldn't even imagine. So I think there's there's probably a larger driving force than for a video game, but to say that it had an influence on one's life, I don't know. I think there's been some cases where maybe it was a possibility, but I've seen other numerous occasions where I was like, I was distraught that the case actually came out and video games were even prosecuted for it. Yeah, I've played some pretty gory games, but where I cut it off is I don't like profanity in games, and I don't like what was the word I'm searching for? Wait, is this our drop-off? It sure is. I was coming in here to explore, and it turns out it's our drop-off. Yeah, one or two words here or there, I do my best to overlook it. But when it's just blasted in my face, I can't play games like that. Man, I'm sliding all over the place. And as far as blood and gore goes, it kind of depends. I don't like it to be too realistic. It's just, it's one of those things. I'd have to say from my personal experience, I think it would be more based on family values rather than the actual game itself. There have been cases where, you know, a person who came from supposedly a pretty good family value that they snap for whatever reason. That happens, but that's not as nearly as common as the other way around. I was starting to wonder there. Alright, let's see if we can find one more cargo here. I don't want it to be too long. And I really want to go south, please. Oh, we didn't get... Okay, yeah, we need to do that. We need to go to that town. I think it was Reims, yeah. Guess we'll just go that way. I don't see anything. Yeah, I got that. Yep, alright, we'll do that. Drive now, please. Yes, on video games that children pick up that are rated above their age, say it's rated for a 13-year-old and somebody that is, we'll just say 12 years old, goes up and buys a game and gets home and the parents find out what kind of game it is and all that. I wonder, who do you actually hold the blame on that? I mean, legally, it's the person who sold the game, but I kind of wonder, why was a 12-year-old buying something on their own? Where was the parent during all that? I think they could probably, they do require ratings and all that stuff on there to say a game has mild language or some nudity or whatever like that. I think maybe if they required the store to keep those particular games on a shelf locked up to where they could actually put some of the photographs on there of what actually the game might entail. Kind of wonder if that wouldn't help slow down some of that. That would kind of do two things in one sitting right there. When the storekeeper actually goes to get that video game, they know that well, I had to unlock the case to get it out, so therefore I better make sure I'm giving it to somebody that is of age. And B, it would let the parents know, okay, you know what, this is in a particular section. I don't really feel comfortable with my kid doing that. I think that would be a little bit easier rather than a kid going to a store and then the parent having to actually look at the back of the box, find out what all the game has. I think they should design a certain area where you got to be a certain age to even go into that particular part of the store. I'm sure the gaming companies probably wouldn't like that too much. That's a lot of stuff to keep up with, though. I'll admit that. I think if they're not of age to, drive a car or vote, they're not of legal age to actually make decisions on their own. Therefore, I think that some of those things need to be kept in a different place, out of their sight. I mean, it'd be the same way as handling tobacco or alcohol or anything like that. Yep, I got a turn. Glad nobody's around. talking about instances where I've always watched movies and stuff that were bloody and gory. I can't think of a video game that I was actually told I couldn't play. I do know that back in the day that there were a couple of movies that I got, and it was questionable as to whether I should be allowed to watch those at that particular time. And I do remember those movies got taken away. Kind of falls on the parents' responsibilities. I don't think, well, no, games weren't nearly as graphical as they are nowadays, so I think that was part of the reason I never had one taken away. And some of the ones that did have language, there wasn't very many back then. I wasn't interested. I didn't care for the gameplay. So I think that's probably part of the reason that none of those actually got taken away. I really think that they need to up the age requirement on some of those games as well. I mean, the language that comes out on them. You know, you say a 13-year-old can sit there and play a game with that type of language, but I guarantee if that same 13-year-old was to step foot in the school and use that language, it would be a whole nother ball game. Oh man, pay attention. Yeah, I think if it's something that you can't do in school, with exceptions, as far as language and stuff goes, I don't think it belongs in a video game that a child should be able to play. Alright, let's see what we got here. One little road. Alright, check out that freight. And where are we at? Right there. That one sounds new. Yeah, I don't want that. Praha, Hamburg, London. I really want down in that area. Anyway, I'm going to reset it one time. Let's see what we get. Yeah, look at the map. There's Hamburg. I could knock out that. And where are we at? Right here. It's not going to give us much, but I really don't have much of a choice. Where was our garages? Where was it? Company manager, garage manager, Zurich. Where is Zurich? Right there. So now, if we go into freight market and click on Zurich, what's coming out of there? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go to Zurich. Before I do that, there was a stretch of road I wanted to get. Or maybe I already, no I didn't, right there. I want to get that right there, and then we'll go to Zurich for our last run. Might as well get a repair. I guess another reason I bring up that topic too is because we're getting into virtual reality. Stop. We're getting into virtual reality, and games are becoming way more and more and more realistic. So I wonder at what point they're going to start drawing the line. Or is it just going to be a consumer thing like it's always been? It's up to us to make our decision on what we buy. No, garage manager. And Zurich, quick travel. Alright, now we need to pull up our freight market. Go on Zurich and find somewhere we haven't been. Down south, please. Oh, come on. Alright, let me reset it one more time. And I think tomorrow we're going to end up having to go across the other way, so I'm not having to reset all the time. Bernalilli, Berlin, Hanover. It looks like we might not have been to Hanover. That one we definitely haven't been to. Alright, so I want to look at Hanover and Bremen. See what we can get. A little bit there. There. Where's Hanover? Right there. I'd rather do Bremen. And there's a whole lot of road that we've already been on. I didn't actually see if... Yeah, we do need Bremen. Do we need Hanover? Not really, except one little spot. Alright, well, this is taking too long. I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll go to Broom and unlock that. And like I said, next time I guess we'll end up going over here. Brewman. I think we'll go ahead and go. Alright, let's take a look at that map. Alright, let's set up those waypoints. Alright, double check. Yeah, I guess that'll do. Let's get going. It feels like it's a pretty heavy load. Let's check it out. What we got? Oh, it's actually not. 27,000. Doesn't stop like it. I saw a pretty good topic about cars that can drive themselves. A little bit sad. There was a gentleman that was driving and ended up in a car wreck with a semi, and it killed him. And he just happened to be driving one of those cars that can drive themselves. I can't remember. I think it was called a Tesla. Not 100% sure. Oh boy, turn. So he was driving the car, and he got into a collision with a semi truck, and they're saying that. Ooh, didn't think I was gonna get stopped. They're saying that even if it had been a car that he could actually drive, he still would have been in the incident. They said, and I don't know how in the world they could figure it out, but they said that he had no idea that the semi was coming up due to sun glare or something. I don't know. I don't know how they figured out that the guy didn't see the truck. But from my understanding, what they were trying to the point that they were trying to get across was even if he had actually been driving the car himself instead of the computer doing it, that the wreck still would have happened and he still would have died. I wonder how they were able to prove that, if there were cameras in the car or what. Technology's definitely come a long ways. Yeah, they were saying that the car didn't react to the scenario, but they also said that the guy didn't react as well. I kind of also wonder if when that technology becomes more available to where, you know, middle and lower class can also partake in that, I'll just call it hands-free driving, for lack of better terms. What kind of laws they're going to put into place that say that the driver or the person that's sitting in the driver's seat will actually still be responsible as to what happens? Are they going to throw the blame entirely on the AI of the car, or will there still be blame for the driver as well? No, I mean, you could narrow it down to something as getting a speeding ticket. You know, well, I told the car to go 35, and I realized we're in a 25-mile-an-hour zone, but you know, I told the car to go 35 or 25. Let me redo that. That was totally terrible. The person sets or at least says he sets the car to go 25 or 35, and he's in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. Who would be responsible for that? Would it be the AI of the car doing something it wasn't supposed to, or would it be the person that's in the driver's seat knowing that the car is doing something it's not supposed to? And how would you prove that the person, I guess they'd have to be paying attention. And if they allow the AI the ability to take over the car, could that later on influence the ability to be able to have drugs and alcohol open containers in vehicles? Or would they just go back to saying that no, the person under the wheel has total control of the vehicle, so it's their fault? I don't know. It would be interesting to see how laws go according to that. I would imagine some laws may change a little bit. I wouldn't see any of the major laws being changed, and I'm pretty sure that the person under the wheel would still carry most of the responsibility, even if the AI fails. I'd say I would say I'm not really comfortable with AI controlling things. It's first of all, it's pretty much giving your life away to the AI having goofed up because of maybe something goes wrong with it. Or maybe it was bad programming, or maybe a chip or something got fried somewhere down the line. And it also gives that false sense of security as well. Oh boy. I think you would end up seeing more and more people not using both hands on the wheel, and maybe using a cell phone or watching a video or something while the AI is taking control of the vehicle. Whether or not it would be legal, that's yet to be seen, but it still would give the false sense of security, and I think you would end up seeing more and more people being relaxed and watching videos when something goes wrong. I don't even really personally care for vehicles that come with the option to be able to start it from the keychain. Just it's not my cup of tea. There's things that could go wrong with it. You could have your keys in your pocket, be inside of a store, and accidentally start your vehicle. Of course, they do have a limit of how close you can be, but still, you could accidentally start your vehicle, which could lead to a mess of events. We are definitely headed towards having a lot of AI control a lot of things. Some of it I kind of do look forward to, but then there's things I don't like. Kind of sitting on the fence about it. The reasons I do like it would be for convenience and things like that, but then again, I look at how easy that convenience is in the wrong hands as well. Yeah, I definitely feel like this load is heavier than what it says it is. What did I say, 30,000? Yeah, almost 30,000. $470 miles to go. Yeah, probably better slow down a little bit. Oh boy. I think we'll go ahead and go because that's a dead end there. Good old country road. I think one of the scenarios that kind of made me who I am as well. We took a field trip. I can't remember what grade it was. Somewhere in high school. I can't remember the actual grade. But field trip was to the county jail. I think that that's probably one field trip I would rather have missed out on. We get there, everything looks okay, it looks secure and all that, but when we actually go into the where they actually hold the prisoners, I was really uncomfortable there. And they split the guys and girls up for obvious reasons, but yeah, there were people making quite a bit of obnoxious noises, we'll just put it that way. And as a matter of fact, the teacher instructed us to make sure that we always keep our eyes facing forward and never to look in the cells. And of course, what does that do to kids? You're going to, out of the corner of your eye, see things that you really don't want to see, and it was actually pretty disturbing. And then a reason, looking back on that, why I wouldn't want to be in that situation again is seeing, oh boy, if I can stop in time. Man, that could have been ugly. Yeah, looking back on that now, just too many instances of people that were breaking out of jail, and that would have been a great time for somebody to have done something like that. Of course, I know there were probably about 4 guards surrounding us, and of course I didn't see how many were up on various levels and all that, trying to make sure that things didn't go wrong. But even then, I didn't feel safe being there. And looking back at how easy some people have actually managed to get out of jail through a lot of bad timing and preparation. Good grief! All right, let's go ahead and see if we can make it. Through preparation and bad timing, how easily people were able to get out of jail, and I could only imagine having access to being able to kidnap students. That would have made it really, really bad. And on one hand, you kind of want the younger generation to see what happens to people, and the mentality of some of the individuals. I'm not going to say all, because there are some good people that have undergone some pretty bad circumstances and got put in jail for whatever reason, but no, the majority of people that are actually in those scenarios definitely deserve to be in there. And you kind of want the younger generation to be able to see that and to kind of influence their brains to, yeah, you don't want to be in that type of environment. But on the other side, I'd have to say that that's a big no-no. You actually don't want them to be as close as we were. Just a little too close for comfort. I think that's the kind of a line that definitely need to be a little bit more careful with our education, where they go with things, the field trips that they take, what environments they're at, and what safety precautions are there. I mean, all it would have taken is one of those cells didn't properly get locked down, or maybe an inmate had a inside help on making sure that one of those cells didn't get locked down, and could have ended pretty badly. I think they could have done a better job of just having going to that facility, maybe walking around some of the safer areas of it, not actually going into where they actually keep the prisoners. Would have been a better idea. Maybe just allowing them to see some of the cameras and things instead of actually going in and being in that environment would have been a better idea. I think that was probably the most disturbing field trip I've taken. All the others would have been like zoos and Omniplex and stuff like that. A lot more educational. Probably better slow down. Looks like he might. No. Okay, I thought he was getting on. We seem to be getting in quite a big a hurry as a society as well. Oh, man. I didn't keep it in the right lane, but at least I didn't tip. I know it's just driving around the roads around here. 35 mile an hour zone. You got people doing 45 and 50. It's crazy. They do hand out speeding tickets, but I kind of feel like they don't hand them out enough. Why are there so many people driving so fast? And it's not where it used to be. It'd be like one person that was speeding. You know, you might see two people speeding down that road. But it'd be a fairly rare occurrence. And not too often do they do that. And you don't see them a few feet in front of you being pulled over. But now it's almost the norm. If it's a 35 mile an hour zone, you go 45. So I kind of wonder, I'm not seeing less cops, but I'm seeing less people being pulled over. I take it back. I am actually seeing less, I guess you'd call them speed traps. I'm seeing less of that. I wonder why. Why do we have laws if we're not enforcing them? getting there. 200 more miles to go. Hopefully it's mostly highway. Looks like it. A bit too fast. Yeah, I think I'll slow down for this one. Slow down a little bit more because I'm not sure which lane. It looks like he's in the right lane. Yeah. And we need over. $140 to go. Pretty quick trip so far. Let that hill slow us down a little bit for that curve. That should be good. Looks a bit sharp as well. Yeah, that's not too bad. there's our exit. Fighting back a sneeze. Hopefully we're going to be okay. Yeah, good thing we're almost done, because I can feel my allergies starting to warm up a little bit. Better start slowing down. Good day, sir. There's the highway. This should be the final stretch home. Good day, sir. Oh, we're gonna slow down the time. Nice. Couple of truckers. few. I better slow down. Get over here in this far left lane. Oh, buddy. Oh, that was close. I think we actually did get a little scratch there. I should have slowed down a little bit more. See how far we get. Not too far. Look like he might be going to the same place we are. It's going to be a pretty sharp turn. Well, we made her. Can we finish with a one shot? I think so. Nice. Alright, well I sure appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you have a great morning, evening, and night wherever you're at. And this is Scully signing out.